Hi, I'm Shaul. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about cameras for dirty photography. But before I do that, I would like to introduce you to my photography, to what I like doing. Dirty photography is about human energy. It's about approaching a situation that is already there, with protagonists who are already there, and by selecting a particular viewpoint and a particular moment, telling the story of the situation from my own point of view. I am really seeing myself as an author. I do not create anything new. My job is to convey what is going on in the world in an interesting, compelling way. That means that I do not seek perfection by any means. Perfect is boring, in my opinion. Often the awkwardness of a situation or the energy itself of the interaction between humans is what makes the images more interesting, what tells a story. So the approach is just use what you have and get on with it. Make the most of what you see with the tools you have in your hands. Of course, the tools are many times limiting. I use some of the best technology currently available on the market, and still I find myself stretching those tools to the absolute limits to deal with the conditions. I shoot in very low light. Sometimes I don't really see what is going on. Certainly not through the viewfinder. A few nights ago I was photographing a party where the exposure value was anywhere between -3 and -6, which means ISO 60,000, something like that, f1.4, and shutter speed was anywhere between 1/50th and 1/5 of a second. So you understand what I mean by extremely low light. if you think I can freeze the action in those conditions, well, you may think of something else, but you can't. There's always motion blur, there's always a lot of noise in the images, but this is part of it. Now, people often ask me why I do not use flash. Well, the population at those parties is not there to be photographed. They are there to enjoy themselves, to meet other people, and I feel it is not appropriate to disturb them with a sudden flash of light in their faces. And I photograph from quite a close proximity usually. I like to use wide lenses because they allow feeling the frame. They allow including a lot of context in the images. So sometimes I have to get very close to someone, and there's an understanding between us, a quiet understanding that I am there to photograph, and it's okay. They don't mind me after a while. Of course, if someone asks me not to take a picture, then it's fine. I respect that. But usually it's not the case. I'm not a fly on the wall, I'm actually a fly in the room. And people just accept it, they get on with it, and they don't really mind. Now about cameras. To me, the most important part of any camera is the mount, because what makes the image is the lens. In a way, the lens is like the brush for a painter. And this is what creates the chemistry of the image eventually. So it is important for me to choose a camera with a mount that allows me to use the lenses I like. And those lenses are of different mounts themselves. So the mount has to be as versatile as possible to allow all the options I needed to offer. Luckily, mirrorless cameras have a short flange distance, so they allow mounting a lot of lenses. Now, I usually use lenses that were made for rangefinder systems. The second part of the camera that is important is the viewfinder. With optical viewfinders, you can't see very well in low light. But EVFs that are used in mirrorless cameras allow brightening up the view. So you can see better, you can focus better either automatically or manually, and it is a very helpful thing. Of course, I could do without them. I could do with an optical viewfinder, and I did for many years. But a good EVF makes life a lot easier. The third aspect of the camera that is important to me is the autofocus system. My eyesight is not what it used to be, so I need a reliable autofocus system to let me save time and shoot at the right moments. Now, autofocus has been improving in the past few years, and it has become quite useful, quite reliable even in very low light. Although sometimes I find that it is not functioning in the light I shoot in, so I go back to manual focus. This is another reason I like wide lenses. It's the only option to get reasonable manual focusing at very low light. With a 21mm lens, I can zone focus at f1.4, which is impossible in when you use longer lenses. The build quality of the camera is not really important. All cameras are good enough and can take a hit or two, and if I ever break something, it is my own fault. It's not the camera's fault. And things break. Nothing lasts forever. But ergonomics have to be reasonable. You have to be able to hold the camera for a long time, and the position of the hand on the camera has to be comfortable enough not to strain any muscles or hurt yourself. Aspects of the sensor are really not very important to me. The photos I take are crappy anyway, in the technical sense. So I don't think there is any camera that will make them a lot better than. The size of the sensor is somewhat important. I like using physical aperture, I mean the actual size or diameter of the aperture of 20 millimeter or something in that ballpark, because that allows me the right propensity to blur, if you know what I mean. And with a 35 millimeter sensor, I can get it with wider lenses. With smaller sensors, I can get it only at normal lenses, unless I use very specialized wide aperture, wide lenses that are usually too big, I would say, for photographing people the way I like to do. Sensor resolution is something that is not important. I don't like to deal with large files. So I think that somewhere between 12 and 16 megapixels would be ideal for me. Although you cannot find a camera that fits all the other criteria, which are more important. So I currently use 24 megapixel cameras, and they are fine. I would hate using a higher resolution. 24 is a little bit too much as it is. Memory card type, battery life, video specifications, all those things do not really matter to me. So I ignore them. So the camera I currently like using is this one, the Nikon Zf. I don't really mind its retro style features, but this camera I think fits the criteria better than others. First of all, it is a Nikon Z mount, which is the most versatile. It allows me to fit all the lenses I like. In this case, it's a 28 millimeter rangefinder lens, and it allows me to do it with autofocus, because there is this adapter that is a godsend really, which allows you to autofocus any manual lens, unless it's heavier than 500 grams. But those lenses are too big for me anyway. I like the small size of those rangefinder lenses I use. Now, autofocusing works quite intuitively. You just focus like you would focus any other lens, and the adapter is motorized, so it works like a small bellows. It extends the whole lens. The accuracy and the speed of this autofocusing adapter is okay. Not fantastic, but for a single autofocus, which is what I mostly use, it's adequate. The motors in the adapter have to be servo type, because they have to move a great weight. They have to move the whole lens forward and backward, so they might hunt a bit. Focus might do some hunting, which is detrimental to video. This camera has a full frame sensor, 24 megapixels, which is just fine for my needs. I would rather have a lower resolution sensor, but this is what is mostly available these days. The viewing in the viewfinder is great. It's really bright and lovely, and allows autofocusing at low light conditions, although I often find myself having to resort to manual focus. Now, for manual focus, some of these rangefinder lenses are equipped with a focusing tab, which is very helpful, because by the position you can easily zone focus. I really have only two complaints about this camera. One is it is badly designed in an ergonomic sense. You can't really grab it comfortably. So I had to beef it up a bit. I added a grip in the front and a thumb grip, this one. And this way I can reach the shutter button comfortably. Of course, it is still not made for large lenses, but if you hold the camera like you should, with your left hand supporting the lens, then it's not a problem. You will not feel the weight of the lens. The other gripe I have with this camera, and actually with all Nikon cameras, is auto white balance. It really doesn't support my laziness. It is inaccurate and inconsistent, so I have to shoot RAW, which I would rather not. I don't have a problem with using the JPEGs I get from the camera. They are usually good enough, except for the white balance. So this is something I have to live with. There are many other similar cameras on the market, and I believe they could all serve me as well as this one. but for more historical reasons, I chose Nikon because I have a lot of Nikon lenses, and it was easier for me to just to stay with that brand.